Alright, so we have been spending a lot of time looking at um, operator error and ammunition errors. But I wanted to show you an error that is not actually an ammunition problem in most cases, and it's not a operator problem in most cases. It is truly a mechanical issue that comes up, and that is the 3-point bind. So as you are looking here now, so you do see ammunition in the chamber or in the ejection port. These are dummies that I create. I like doing that every time I load, so I always have some extras to use as snap caps or whatever else. So what we're seeing here, folks, is what's called a 3-point bind. All right, so you notice we've got, now I'll actually bring that down a little bit more for you. So if we look at it this way, you can see that the case is actually, in projectile, are actually hung up here, right? Now, so we have bind point 1. Now if you look down here at the top of the ramp, we have bind point 2. And then bind point 3, I know this is kind of hard to see. Here we go. Bind point 3 is here against the breech face. Okay, so we have our rim that's trying to come up, but because it's bound up here, and it's bound down here and here, it gets stuck. All right. Okay. So again, right? Trying to get where you can see down there. All right, so there's a ramp, right? And that ramp is where the top of that ramp is where we're getting that second bind. Now, one of the things you want to do with this is you want to actually try and check the chamber, right? Because the easiest fix on this is actually to polish the chamber or try different ammunition that has a different bullet design, right? These, which are more of the truncated cone, even though they're a hollow point, normally don't run into that problem, but it can happen. Okay, so I'm going to disassemble, and then we'll take a look at the barrel. Okay, anytime you have a full-length guide rod, there's a couple of different ways to take this out, but typically they screw in with a Allen key. This one, because it requires a reverse plug, this is actually a modified plug that sits on the inside of your recoil plug housing, right? So that fits inside there. Once that's out, now we can take this out. Okay, so if we look down the barrel, try and get you a good visibility, right? So it doesn't appear that there's anything that's causing it to hang up, but that doesn't mean that there isn't. So, so let's tuck to the side. So let's take a look at that 3-point bind again, right? So cartridge hits the ramp, and it forces it up, and then it hits. Now what it's supposed to do is cam over, right? But if it hits and for whatever reason it doesn't cam over, now it's going to end up stuck. And if you look, you can see where it's stuck on this particular case, right? So it's right there at the top. So what we probably want to do is we're probably going to want to change our angle on that top part of the ramp. So to do that, we'll use a Dremel and a polishing wheel. So let me get that set up, and then we'll take a look at that. Okay. So we've got our polishing wheel. Now for this, we're going to use just a cotton wheel, and we're going to come in here, and then we're going to catch it here, and as we compress it down, then we can get it into the chamber itself. All right. You don't need to be super fast on this. Remember, you know, you can take metal off, you just can't put metal back on as easy. All right. So get that compound on the wheel, and you come in here. What we're trying to do is break that hard edge. All right, so easier. All right, so what we're doing is we're polishing this edge right here so that it rounds over more, and then we have a hard line. You see that there, so we're going to polish that out too. Okay, and like I said, we don't have to go very fast. What's nice about using the cotton is that it'll compress and form the way you want it to get it in. Right? And then nice and tight. And see how it's beginning to break over more? Now I can speed it up a little bit at this point. The other good reason about using cotton for this is that because it deforms, you're not going to end up taking off very much material. See? Good. Here, just a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now that we have that polished, and we're going to check it with our dummy cartridge, right? So it comes up, hits here, hits there, and then slides in, right? Hits here, slides up. What you're checking for is that cam over, right? Is that smooth? So that's what we want. Right now, maybe, you know, we may have to do some more, but I don't know if you can see here how that, how we have this chamfered edge right here that is no longer that sharp edge, so it's actually smooth into the chamber, which will help prevent it from binding on the bottom side of the cartridge case. All right, so we got to put everything back together. So that slides in. This reverse plug slides in. Okay. Now, one of the things when you're building on guns like this, one of the things you have to pay attention to is balancing your springs, right? So, if you're going to have multiple calibers, you got to make sure the springs you're running will fit. Now, normally I wouldn't have to do it this way. I'd put it in through the front, but because of that reverse recoil spring, I don't have a choice. I got to put it in this way. So we get that engaged. We're holding that stuff in alignment, and then once we get it started, now we can take our hand off. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's functional. All right, so I'm going to take one round. Again, this is a dummy. Go ahead and put these in. So what we're checking for again, guys, is want to see if we corrected that. Like so many other things, when you're doing this kind of work, it's fit, 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 test. Fit, 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 test. So, charge. All right, so we're getting that same bind. So now, the question is that being caused by the extractor? Okay, so I'm going to hold this and let it focus. All right, so if you look, so the rim of the case is sticking against what appears to be the hook of the extractor and the breech face. So right there. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to now take it apart again, and then we're going to address those issues. Alright, so what I did is I came in and I filed here. I need to file a little bit more to make that smoother, and then polish it with the Dremel. And then if you'll notice, I put in a ramp so that when the case hits, it has a surface to roll in on instead of just coming in at a hard angle, right? So if I can get that a little bit better for you to see. So as it comes up, that'll allow it to push in. So let's put this in the gun and see if that fixed our issue.